Here we have the all-new 2024 Ford Mustang Convertible. Now this Mustang Convertible is an EcoBoost trim. Comes in Oxford white on that black onyx cloth and vinyl interior. And the powertrain consists of a 315 horsepower, 2.3 liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine. That's made it to a 10-speed automatic transmission. And this Mustang Convertible also includes a night pony package, which I am a big fan of on these Mustangs and the Mustang Mach-E's. But as we come around to the front end here, love the exterior styling. We get those LED headlamps, LED daytime running lights, and they don't flash like that. That's just how my camera's picking them up. But a great redesign here. I love how they did this. Just looks so modern, but it still looks like a Mustang. Now as we come around here to the wheels, these are going to be 19-inch aluminum. Again, they look absolutely fantastic. And then to the door panel here, power door lock controls, one-touch automatic up and down windows, and then power mirror controls are there. And then this one right here just rolls up those back ones. Button right there. Little storage pocket there. Headlamp controls, trunk release, hood release. Quick look at the pedals. There's a latch for our manual tilt and telescoping steering wheel. Got to get it loose. There it is. Then we can just lock that back up there. And here we have our driver's seat. Now we get a power seat bottom, so we can move that seat bottom up, down, side to side, and then two-way power lumbar support. And for the seat back, we have that. And then of course you want to get to the back seat, just pull there. And there's the rear seat. And then another thing is just being able to move that headrest back and forth like that. Now to the fuel filler there, takes 87 plus. And then to the back end, we do get the LED signature tail lamps. Again, they don't flash. That's just how my camera's picking them up. But love the stock exhaust. Even on the EcoBoost, it sounds fantastic. And if you want to pop the trunk from the back, button right underneath there. And there's your storage space. So this one has a mat, and if I lift the mat up, we have a little storage compartment underneath all of that. And there's an inflator kit right in there. And I think you can actually put a spare in there if you want to. This one just doesn't come with it in particular, but you can always order one or something like that. And then we do have the rear parking sensors integrated into that rear bumper. So look at the back seat from this side. And then we just have a straight up manual seat here. We can't pump this one up or down. We can lean that seat bottom, or seat back, excuse me, back and forth. And then the seat bottom, just pull up there. And then a lockable glove compartment there. And I'm gonna roll this window up because the window sticker's here. And I wanna give a huge shout out to Ford Lincoln of Franklin for allowing me to review this Mustang Convertible. I'll leave a link below in the description. But y'all can pause anywhere you need to just to take a quick look. I like how this one is optioned out. Now that is a $1,225 upcharge for that exhaust, but I think it's worth it. And then the night pony package is $1,200 and I'd add that too. So love how this one is spec'd because you get so much for only $43,405. And then look at this fuel economy here, 33 miles per gallon highway. So I find that pretty impressive. Now we do have the blind spot monitors in the side mirrors there. As we come back around to the front, we're just going to take a quick look in the engine bay. And there's that 2.3 liter EcoBoost 4-cylinder. And I love how these hoods close just so easily without a lot of fuss. Now we're going to hop in the driver's seat. I'm going to show you how fast this top goes down. First of all, there's the steering wheel there. There's the horn. Now, that's where the button is for the top, you just hold it, folds down, that's it. And then you can just lock it back into place. So very simple to do. And then roll that rear window up, roll those front windows up. Now, like in the GT Premium, we get a 13.2-inch cluster screen here, and then a 12.3-inch, I believe, digital gauge cluster. But in the GTs, you have just a, I don't know what it is, I guess just extra screen here, but it's the same size screens. And I actually like this layout better because it kind of divides them. It's not just like you're throwing a piece of glass in the middle. But over here to the radio, we do get that Sync 4A system. So that includes the AM, FM, XM radio along with Bluetooth audio. And we also have that wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto compatibility. And then we can add our phone here.
Search for your vehicle on your device and select it once it is found.
Very easy to do. Just find it on your phone like she said, and then walks you right through. It pretty much connects with no problem. Now down here we have the dual zone automatic climate controls, and for those of you that like knobs and buttons, not much going on there, but the touchscreen is pretty doable, I think. You can adjust temperature there, or scroll up there, or just hit a certain area, so it's pretty easy to do again, and it's just simple, I think. Very intuitive. And then we have 3-stage heated front seats. Now your auto mode, you can set that, so either mid, low, or high level of air, just basically the quickness to which the temperature is adjusted. And then click there, and you can actually decide where you want the airflow to come from, and then you can toggle that dual mode there, or just by adjusting the temperature on the passenger side. And then cut the whole system on or off there. And then, don't know how to get out of there. It's a weird setup with having the AC there. Kind of get lost. But sound settings are here. You can go in there and adjust the tone, balance, fade, all of that. I will say the sound system stock, it's about a 7 out of 10 for me. Now the B&O system, the 12-speaker system in the GT Premium, I believe that comes standard with the Premium. It might be an option, but anyways, highly recommend that because that sounds incredible. This one does a job though, especially if you want to save 12 grand and have the convertible. This is the way to go. But driver assistance settings can be set up here. So we don't have adaptive cruise on this one, but we have the lane keeping system. Basically, just keeps you in the lane. It's like a ping almost back and forth if you start going out of the lines. And then general settings here, that's where you can adjust your language as well as your units. And instrument cluster settings can be adjusted, everything else there. And then the side menu have a few options: fuel economy, trip, phone, and then the actual audio system there. The backup camera, great picture, just like in the GT Premium I just did. I wanted to do these back to back to kind of compare, see if Ford tried to nickel and dime anywhere compared to the GT Premium, but we get the same beautiful picture on the backup camera, and then these rear parking sensors as well. Shows you how close you're getting to something as you're backing up. Now down here we have a volume knob. You can adjust there and then click to mute. Hazards, favorite, you can edit that. And then we do have the auto stop toggle here, that My Mustang mode, traction control. Now that My Mustang mode, you can actually go in here and use track apps, have the auxiliary gauges up, set up a custom mode, ambient lighting, all of that. So pretty neat. And then even a cluster theme if you want to do that. But USB-C, USB-A input, 12 volt, and with a 10 speed to put that in gear, push, reverse, neutral, drive, then you have that gear limiter there, and you can go ahead and just use that. Now you don't have any paddle shifters or anything, so I'm not sure how that'll actually work, but it's there for you. And then we have an electronic parking brake, pull up to engage, hit the brake, press down to disengage, bottle holders, center console cubby space with a 12 volt. And there's a view of the back seat from up here. Now again, there's how you adjust that top. I like that we get the reading lights that are LED, vanity mirror, and the lights there. Now with this being a convertible, you don't have anywhere to put your sunglasses, which you'd probably need that more than you would in a coupe, but you can probably put them in there or up there or something like that. Now back to the steering wheel. Blinkers are there. When the low beams are on, you can toggle the high beams there and then flash here. And then over here we have the windshield wiper controls. So there's one time, off, intermittent, or auto, low, high. And you can adjust the sensitivity with the auto wipers there. And then here we have our cruise control. So just standard cruise, toggle on and off, adjust speed, cancel, resume, and then that lane keeping system can be toggled there. Now for your steering, you can adjust right there, whether you want steering for comfort, sport, or normal. And then you can go through your radio station favorites here, volume control, and then you can adjust the right side of the gauge cluster right there, which includes your tire pressure monitors, driver assistance, and then your gauge detail there. But I like how this gauge cluster is set up. It looks nice, it's clean, but I can still see engine temperature, how much gas I have, and then of course the tachometer. Push button start. Then here's the key fob. And then before we go ahead and go out on test drive, I want to show you all what this looks like with the top up for those that are curious. So it is just a standard rag top, but I mean, one of my favorite things about it is that it just goes up and down so quickly compared to having a hard top or something like that. We have to open up the trunk and wait for all of that to happen. But I like it, I really do. Very sleek look for not a bad price in my opinion. But next, let's go ahead and take this 2024 Mustang Convertible with the EcoBoost engine out on the road for a test drive. So starting the test drive in this EcoBoost Convertible, pretty quick car with it being a 2.3 liter 4-cylinder. Now that turbo does a lot of work, but still impressive numbers when you're talking about acceleration as well as fuel economy. And honestly, just how fun it is to drive. Now the naturally aspirated V8 does feel some type of way, but just feeling this turbo pull and then hearing that blow off valve, it's just, there's something about it. Especially since it saves you quite a bit of money compared to getting the big boy V8. And just the overall driving dynamics, I would probably keep this in sport mode myself. I feel like the normal and the comfort, if you're into that kind of driving, especially with this car, it'll be good for you, but it just feels too light for me. I like having a stiff wheel, especially in something like this, whether I'm in eco mode or track mode or whatever mode I have available to me. Speaking of which, we've been in normal and I'm gonna put it into the sport mode and just see how it does. And in the sport mode, you just have so much power at your disposal. That was about a third of the pedal there, and I still had so much more to go. And again, just being able to put your foot down and let the turbo pull you without necessarily downshifting is a big plus of having a turbocharged engine. And the ride quality, for whatever reason, just feels a bit more plush in this convertible as opposed to that GT Premium I just drove. Even though that had leather seats and whatnot. But I feel like that suspension is a bit more sport tuned. I don't know that for a fact, I just feel like it is. And I think you get the best of both worlds, and that's kind of what you want with a vehicle like this. Having the 4-cylinder turbo with a convertible setup is just a great touring car in my opinion. And this active exhaust, again, even though it's a 4-cylinder turbo, it sounds so good. So we're gonna give it a little bit of throttle here. it just has so much in it. For this to be the base powertrain, it pulls, it really does. Now, with the Camaro, I think comparatively to that Turbo Force setup, this one, especially with this active exhaust, just feels a bit more sporty to me. And, you know, we did get a slight redesign here with the Mustangs. But I mean, it's pretty much your only competitor in this market. You could think of some other ones, but I think if you're comparing apples to apples, this is basically the only competitor is Camaro, and I feel like this knocks it out the park. For the money, what you get for the money, and just how much fun this is to drive and how powerful this powertrain really is. So overall, pretty awesome car, I think, especially having this convertible setup. And this will bring me to the end of my review of this 2024 Mustang Ecoboost Convertible.